time to talk business now. Amid controversies over the position of the Finance Minister, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, on the decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria to embark on the redesigning of Naira notes, President Muhammadu Buhari says the Apex Bank has his support of the project. Recall that last week, Mrs. Ahmed had declared that the CBN did not carry her ministry along the new Naira notes plan, warning that the decision could have dire consequences on the value of the Naira. But President Buhari, in a statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Mr. Garba Shehu, said he's convinced the nation will gain a lot by doing so. The president also said reasons given by the CBN convinced him that the economy stands to benefit from a reduction in inflation, currency counterfeiting, and the excess cash in circulation. The third supervision mission for the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD's livelihood in family enterprises in Niger Delta has resumed operations here in the country. The Live and D program targets promotion of agribusiness development and rural enterprise amongst youth and women across 7 value chains in the Niger Delta region. Our correspondent, Lara Fulayo, tells us more.
Family Enterprises in Niger Delta Life ND project is an International Fund for Agricultural Development IFAD's program that targets rural development. It is one of the biggest initiatives focused on rural youth and women entrepreneurship in areas of agribusiness development. Its selected value chains include cassava, rice, plantain, cocoa, fishery, palm oil and poultry. The aim is to empower 25,550 young people and women entrepreneurs in IFAD-funded states by the year 2025.
This workshop will provide us with an opportunity to have a shared understanding of the objectives of this mission.
This meeting signals the start of the project's third supervision mission in Nigeria. The exercise is being described as significant owing to several economic challenges being faced at the moment, with the inclusion of recent floods which have washed away much of the progress already recorded and now affecting actualization of target results.
We count on the leadership of the federal governments, of states, and of the Nigeria Delta Development Commission to mobilize the domestic counterpart funding needed to realize the full potential of this innovative, impactful project, Life ND.
We have been coming for these missions. I've been noticing this and up to today. And I think it will be a good point to pause small and look at it and find a lasting solution to that.
We believe strongly in value for money, and we believe that with the team of this project, it is achievable.
The Life ND is seen as a relevant one for the authorities because it adds value to some existing policies and reforms. IFAD is expectant the project will drive prosperity and equal benefit in rural economies. Lara Fulayo, TVC News, Abuja.
And now to other stories. Here in Lagos, the State Waterways Authority and the French Development Agency have agreed to establish a world-class public inland waterways transit system. A preparatory study for the waterways investment and development of the environment project in Lagos has also been launched. TVC News correspondent Ifunaya is a report.
In Lagos State, water is one of the most defining features. As part of its efforts to reduce congestion on roads, the state government has been promoting the development of inland waterways public transportation. This is the reason for the partnership meeting with the French Development Agency.
A state which is trying to integrate its transportation system to be able to ease in the stress which is just on one mode, which is the road transportation. So we're seeing now where we're diversifying transportation to rail and of course the waterways. So the only way to be able to get sustainable development is through investments like this, which the AFD, which is under the French government, is able to bring to Lagos State.
Lagos State is made out of 22% of waterways. So indeed, there's a huge potential here. Of course, it's already used, but it can be even more practical for people to be able to commute using all ways of transport, whether road, rails and waterways.
We see waterways as the most sustainable way to mass transport people throughout the city. Going through roads with BRT, through rail is fine, but if we want to have a comprehensive scheme, we also need to build on waterways.
Additionally, other state executives in attendance at the meeting believe that if inland waterways transit is adequately developed, it will reinforce bus rapid transit and light rail transit systems and make them more relevant and sustainable.
What that means for us is that we will now begin to have highly developed transportation modes in all three forms that we have in Lagos. We have the rail, we have the road transportation with our buses, and then we have the waterways. Now, what we need to do as agencies underneath the Ministry of Transportation is to ensure that we have connectivity.
It's a very exciting project. Imagine in Lagos where all of a sudden you can get from place to place within 30 minutes. And of course, part of the reason why we're excited to be here today is the fact that it's a multimodal network. So you don't just have to choose rail or road or water. Everything is going to link, and we'll make sure we can get you from your house to work or wherever else you want to go, your Owambe party and back, all on Lagos public transport.
Preparatory studies for the project will be funded by a €1.2 million grant from the French Development Agency and the European Union. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
So let's cross over live to Imo State, where the conference and retreat for senior police officers is on now. We understand President Muhammadu Buhari is already in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Let's turn our attention now to global markets as Asian stock markets wobbled higher today as hopes wailed that the U.S. Federal Reserve might take a less aggressive approach on rate hikes, while wheat jumped on Russia's withdrawal from a pact allowing Ukrainian grain to transit the Black Sea. MSCI's the broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan rose at 1%, though China's stocks were held flat by disappointing economic data. The index is down 10 months in a row and near two-year lows rattled by growth and interest rate hike fears. Japan's Nikkei rose at 1.5% and is set for its best month in nearly 2 years. The mixed performance follows an erratic earnings season on Wall Street and bond and currency markets, tempering some wagers on a change in tone from the Fed. The dollar, after posting 2 weeks of losses, steadied on Monday and rose at 0.5% on the yen. S&P 500 futures also fell at 0.2%, while European futures rose at 0.4%. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia, the world's top oil exporter, may cut prices of most crude grades to Asia in December's weaker than expected fuel consumption in China amidst its strict COVID-19 rules put a slide on regional demand. According to reports, the state's oil giant Saudi Aramco may also lower the official selling price for its flagship Arab Light crude by about 30 to 40 cents per barrel in December. The price cut comes as China, the world's largest crude oil buyer, extended stringent mobility controls to contain the highly transmissible Omicron variant after resurge in daily reported cases in that country.